Hey, over 50 and feeling like you're stuck in a never-ending cycle of job applications, you're sending out resume after resume and you're not getting any callbacks? What if there was something that you could change today that would actually help hiring managers see all that experience in a fresh new way? Now, let's be honest about what we're facing in today's job market. The business world has completely changed. A lot of us grew up in a time where loyalty and experience were everything. Now, because of the economy and a very competitive market, companies have to show quarterly results. Plus, we're even dealing with AI screening our applications before any human ever sees them. Okay, now let's tackle some of the misconceptions that some recruiters and hiring managers can have, especially for people over 50, and how you can counter them. So sometimes hiring managers or recruiters have the idea that people over 50 are out of touch. So let's do a reality check. Some employers automatically assume that because we've held a certain position for a number of years, that we either haven't kept up with the times, or we're resistant to change, or we're either incapable or just don't want to learn anything new. But that's simply not true. In fact, studies are showing how workers over 50 are actually more likely to embrace workplace technology when it's properly introduced. And, we've adapted to countless technology changes throughout our careers, haven't we? All right, just think about your own career journey for a minute. All those systems that you've mastered, the training and certifications you've earned, and the countless workplace changes that you've navigated. We've handled steep learning curves under tight deadlines and heavy workloads time and time again. So if you encounter that, here's what you want to do. Just be sure to highlight your recent certifications and training on your LinkedIn profile and your resume. You'll want to share specific examples of how you've led or adapted to digital transformations in previous roles, and you need to consider creating content on professional platforms to showcase your tech knowledge. All right, the next issue that you may run into is that you're too expensive. So let's do a reality check on that one too. Sure, it's no secret that seasoned professionals typically are looking for higher salaries than those who have just entered the job market, but here's what they're missing: our efficiency. Our ability to avoid costly mistakes because we've already learned from a lot of things in our careers. And things like dedication to finish the job, showing up on time, all the time, and a lot more. Plus, our established work habits means less time spent on training and onboarding, and we typically have strong client relationship skills that can lead to better retention and sales as well. So if you're in an interview and you think that might be the issue, here's how you counter it. It's a good idea to quantify your value by highlighting cost-saving initiatives if you've led. You also want to show them how your experience prevented expensive mistakes in previous roles, and you'll need to be prepared to discuss flexible compensation packages that align with the company budgets while still acknowledging your value. Okay, here's another one that's quite familiar. You're overqualified. Okay, when employers say that you're overqualified or claim that you might not be happy here, let's decode that. Often it's just their polite way of saying that they're worried that you might outshine some of the younger managers or try to change the way that they're doing things and maybe create a lot of unnecessary stress. So if you're genuinely interested in the position, the key is to clearly communicate that you're eager to learn their way of doing things. So here's how you can counter that. Express genuine interest in the role by researching the company and asking thoughtful questions. Share examples of successful collaborations with diverse teams and younger managers. Emphasize your desire for work-life balance and meaningful contribution over title climbing. And one last thing, when we're open to taking roles that might be a step back, some employers worry that we're going to jump ship just as soon as something better comes along. But here's the reality. Job hopping isn't age-specific. Younger workers change jobs for better offers, life changes, or countless other reasons too. What many hiring managers don't realize is that many of us are just simply looking for meaningful work where we can contribute our expertise without that crushing pressure that can often come with high-stakes positions. Here's something that might surprise you. I've heard from more than one person that their application was rejected before a human ever saw it. Now, as someone who's spent years mastering SEO and trying to understand how AI reads content, let me share some insider tricks that might help you beat the screening system. First, you'll want to use a bit of what we would call keyword optimization. So instead of saying, I manage the company's books and handled vendor payments, you probably need to say something more like, administered corporate financial operations, including accounts payable, vendor management, and accounting software implementation. And here's a couple of AI beating application techniques you might want to use too. Use the exact wording for the job title from the posting. Be sure to include the industry standard certification using both spelled out names and acronyms, like the Project Management Professional, PMP. You might want to be sure to use the current tool names rather than just the generic descriptions. So, for example, use proficient in Salesforce CRM instead of use customer database. And you'll want to include current industry buzzwords naturally in the context. So, for example, say leverage data analytics to drive ROI through enhanced customer experience. And you'll want to spell out numbers and use numerals as well. So, for example, managed 15 spelled out and 15 in numerals, direct reports. And when you're formatting a document, let's say your resume, use clean standard fonts like Arial or something like that. Don't use headers, footers, or text boxes. Be sure to create distinct sections with clear headings and don't be too creative. Just use the standard section titles like professional experience. And here's a pro tip that I've discovered. Lots of AI systems are programmed to look for progression in careers too. So instead of just listing jobs, show growth with evolving titles. Example, Senior Financial Analyst 2019 to 2021, followed by Advanced to Finance Manager 2021 to 2023. So give those optimization techniques a try, and remember, don't try to cram a bunch of keywords in there, because if you do, well, if it doesn't look natural, AI is going to pick up on it, and it's going to look like keyword stuffing, and it's going to hurt you rather than help you. So it's about strategically placing those and integrating those things into the document in a natural way. So you want to optimize your resume using the AI techniques that I've already mentioned before. So focus on your recent achievements, highlight relevant skills, skip things like graduation dates. It's going to make you look old. Don't list the last 40 years of your experience. Plus, you'll want to keep an active network like we've talked before about reaching out to former colleagues and professional groups and connect with decision makers. Remember, more jobs are found through connections than online applications. I want you to remember that your experience isn't just valuable, it's irreplaceable. You bring wisdom, proven judgment, and perspective that only comes from navigating multiple business cycles. That's pure gold. We just need to help employers see it. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you have, why don't you consider subscribing to the channel, give us a thumbs up, sharing it with people that you know that could really use this information, and turn on notifications so you know that the next time that I publish a video. Until then, I'll see you in the next one.